like T1 actually have the better edge in this draft, and it came when their last picks were face up. I feel like going into the last 2 picks for both sides, Gen G had a lot better options available to them to continue to layer T1 inside of the draft phase. But R4 Ezreal comes in, Aphelios is walking into Orianna, Lillia, and Ezreal. That's going to be very hard for him to conduct himself. And Echo now trying to run into the opponents when they were trying to run into you is also a little bit bizarre. And the Alistar comes in as a vacuum answer to the set, but also a lot of good setup for his teammates, a lot of good synergy with the Orianna, a lot of follow-up with the Renekton, and a pretty good body blocker for those primary 3 that T1 need to protect. I think this is the first time, Valdes, T1 walks away from the draft with probably a lot more options than Gen G.
Well, sometimes you roll the dice and it goes straight to the number 6, or at least you roll a 4 over a 2 or something like that. Either way, these are going to be the pick bans for game number 3. And LS has already told us that it seems like this might be the best chance to try to come back in the series. We've seen reverse sweeps happen before. It's not very common though, but we'll start with one. We'll see what they can do. If they can actually put up a good fight up against Gen G, who have been in total control of this series. As here we go, back onto the Rift. And I find it funny too that BDD hops back onto the Echo that Faker was playing earlier on in the series up against BDD. So maybe trying to show him a thing or two about the Echo.
Well, BDD has probably the most iconic play in 2020 from LCK, if you remember the 5-man Echo stun.
The guy is he's a pretty good player.
Yeah.
Yeah.
pretty good, indeed.
Yeah. I mean, you know, we could probably take 1 game from him out of 100. But, yeah, the guy is insane. And I'm really curious to see what he is going to do on the Echo this time around. Definitely a lot of moving pieces on the side of T1, so it'll be hard for them to group up as 5, I would imagine, and get hit by that. But we'll see.
And Ruler coming in here, looking maybe to scout out the area, place a ward. Okay, he is going to place it. And Clid gonna do a solo start in his red side jungle, Lillia. Gonna be on the other side as Ellim is gonna clear the Raptor camp very quickly as Lillia. Not a big deal. Move into red immediately. And Italy, Clid's actually just gonna start the red right away. So they have the ward on the left-hand side. They know that Lilia's not immediately advancing in to the blue side jungle. So things are pretty fine for them right now.
Yeah, for sure. You can see here, there's one of these numbers on the bottom that really stands out. It's the 0-3 Aphelios from Ruler. He was definitely one of the 80 carries that didn't play much Aphelios, even when he was really strong, and also didn't have much success when he did play the champion. So it almost feels like a little bit of a challenge, you know? It's an awkward composition for the Aphelios to handle, plus he's not had very great results on it, so Ruler coming out here and challenging himself in game number 3, when there were definitely some other choices that may have worked better. Kind of just gonna eat that. Doesn't seem too concerned.
Saving his shield breaker for the Volibear E. Ends up just going through all of that. Now Ruler and Life, they're gonna come over here, they're gonna help Clid steal away the blue, and this is actually very big. This is gonna stun Ellim a very great deal. Normally this doesn't happen in this matchup, and it looks like they're actually gonna push on. Oh man.
Maybe steal. Oh, okay, it's gonna hit Ellim, but not a huge steal. Clid now could get in there and steal the Gromp, but it doesn't look like he wants to with all of that pressure that they had going. Rascal looks like he's pushing really hard, just wants to get out of this lane as Canna was handling it. Up comes Ellim. They know that Ellim is not on the bottom side of his jungle, so got to play it a little bit safer up there.
And Ellim looking for maybe a gank of some sorts. He's gonna be able to get a lot of damage onto Rascal. There's a lot of MS. Wait, what? What?
What? Rascal, I'm gonna need you to hand in your Polar Bear card now. Nice amount of damage onto Ruler here, who is just being owned in the 2v2. Gen G now are getting smacked down by T1. We got the double teleport coming on in. We're gonna get on top of Gamayusi, but life incredibly low. Will actually survive. Oh, as King Kong, we're back at it again. Effort going to bop Rascal towards his team. Flashes on in. Not sure that they have damage, as the stun will come in, and actually now Canna is going to be the one that eats the death.
Okay, it's not over yet.
Faker going to get in here.
Oh, no.
Shield, and
yes.
Does he have the damage? Finally is going to get it. Okay. Has to flash over the wall. That's double summoner to get on in there and get the kill, as BDD is just sitting in the middle.
And Ellim, meanwhile, up in top lane. I mean, he's going to push in the wave. And he should be able to get this crash into the turret, and so that's a lot of lane EXP that he's going to be able to pick up for himself. It's going to help him remain relevant. But a little bit of a fiesta unfolding down, obviously, in the bottom side. The wave does not crash.
Ooh.
Oh, my.
LS's worst nightmare. This is perfect, actually, for Rascal. He's going to get up there right on time. And I didn't want to watch this again, actually.
Yeah, I don't understand why he didn't flash the enhanced damage on the W and then just make it out. Face breaker there into the Alistar combo. Gamayusi goes forward, gets the kill onto Ruler. And then I thought at this point they would start kiting towards the right, especially into Canna, but he kites down towards the south. Now, Life actually spaces very far away, not wanting to get recomboed by effort, but he eventually gets there. Does the facebreaker onto Canna. Lightning Storm comes down. Faker comes in with the teleport. It almost looked like they were actually just going to kill Faker as well, but not quite enough damage on set to make that happen. Clid now wants to start up the Infernal Dragon.
And looks like he should be able to get this pretty easily. They have a nice push going down in the bottom side. Lillia is nowhere near that dragon, so it's just going to go over the way of Gen G, and of course Infernal would be really nice to pick up as a singular Drake. Obviously a nice amount of damage in their composition to be enhanced. And Rascal, with the two kills that he did pick up, he goes back and gets the Bramble Vest and is having a pretty fun time up against the Renekton now.
Everything is still somewhat stable, pretty much, inside of this game, even though Gen G are certainly ahead with how everything does stand. Bit of a CS lead in mid lane, as well as a big EXP lead because of what Orianna did. She recalled down into bottom. She did get a kill, but BDD was able to stay in mid and get all those minions. And Clid now is down in EXP. Almost does have the jungle item complete. Top lane is just going to get worse and worse between these two. Polar Bear is going to get definitely a little bit stronger as things go on. BDD is... I mean, look at the...
Oh, boy.
No, he could freeze here if he wanted. Orianna doesn't have teleport. He could just freeze and then reset on the next minion wave and leave it frozen and then come back to it. And Orianna would be in a very doomed spot because you can see the vision on left side river and even right side river. It would be very hard for Faker to break that, and now even his ultimate's on cooldown, so he has even less insurance. But BDD shoves it out immediately, not electing to want to go for a recall, and so this is actually going to give Faker a little bit of control in the lane as he comes back, because BDD does not have teleport available.
Yeah.
Rift Herald.
Rift Herald's pretty easy take here for Clid. Faker just now getting back to the lane, and that will go their way. So both first big objectives going into the hands of Gen G. The Infernal Drake and the first Rift Herald. Definitely really nice stuff. Ellim, he's a little bit angry. Someone angered Bambi. Rascal taking an aggressive trade now up in the top side. Thinking about going in on this one, but not quite gonna go for it. Looks like Glid once again getting pretty aggressive in the enemy jungle. They're able to steal the red a little bit earlier on. And is just getting in there and warding things out.
And Canna in a bit of a dangerous position. You can see all the members coming up. He has Dominus available. He's going to pop it early.
Yeah. So clear the wave. See what he can do. Not really going to have a good time. It actually gets over there, but I think the damage is just too much. And Rascal is quite a beefy boy even already. That is going to be the 3-on-1. Not fair. They were bullying him. But either way, they do pick up the kill up in the top side. Faker, meanwhile, gonna do kind of what BDD did the last time around, and Faker roamed bottom side and looked to get some of these plates.
You gotta give it to Canna, though. He managed to CS the entire wave. And so you can see this actually hurts Rascal in a bit because he's not able to get any turret plates. Had Canna just died and all of the wave was there, Rascal would have gotten 2 turret plates. That would have been 320 extra gold in his pocket on the recall. And I have to wonder if that would mean something like coming back to lane with Sheen and Phage, rather than just a Ruby Crystal due to inventory space.
Oh, effort on the roam, the flash away. This is 3-on-1, this time onto BDD. Tries to get over to the Nidalee, but not quite able to get in range for the heal. So down he goes. Nice little collapse from T1 to actually strike back and pick up a kill onto BDD. As the trading continues up in the top side, Rascal, he had a fun time of it in game number 1. He's going to have a fun time of it in game number 2, or game number 3, I suppose this one is. But the second game he goes into this matchup, especially as he got an even better start this time, dodges the bowling ball, and they'll just say, okay, you got away this time. Lillia, quite strong herself, has a couple of kills already, so Ellim looking to try to carry this time around.
And this is the closest I feel like the game has, or the series has been in an individual game at any point. You can see Orianna is getting very big inside of this game. The Renekton is very far behind, but that doesn't really matter. He's Renekton. All that he is a ball service, pretty much, regardless. He's just there to serve the ball.
Yes, indeed. Of course.
Or the balls, if Lillia's ball matters.
Exactly. True. Well put. And, yeah, I mean, he's pretty far behind, so you're not really going to expect too much else from the Renekton. Just try to survive and essentially just play the weak side and let the rest of your team try to do the carrying. You've got Faker and Ellim pretty far ahead, so perhaps this will be their game to go ahead and do that. Rascal, though, still very scary up here on the top side. By the way, we know it's not going to be a Cloud Soul this time.
Yep.
So it'll be interesting to see if it does go to Ocean or Mountain. Feels like those could be very game-changing. We will have a lot of action around those drapes.
And Rift Herald is summoned here in mid. We're going to give the gold over. And this is going to put them at a 1,000 gold advantage. We have Proto Belt first item for BDD. It's endlessly shoving the wave in over and over. Meanwhile, up in top lane, I mean, Renekton's doing a pretty good job. He's currently taking the Krug camp to try to help out his jungler as well as himself. Here we go.
Look at this collapse from T1. They're going to get on top of Ruler really easily. It's 1 teleport to 2 as well. Gen G need to get out of here. It looks like they should effectively be able to. The ultimate will be denied by Rascal, who hops out of there. Now, decent amount of damage was done to T1, but it's still 5v4. Gen G, though, not willing to just run away from this one. BDD is going to be spotted.
And that's Cloud Drake. That attacks very fast and shreds the HP down.
Absolutely. Nice amount of poke is coming out. They're trying to get onto that back line with the stun. It does go down onto Canna, but the Cloud Drake will go the way of Gen G, actually, as BDD being chased down here. And he will eventually be taken out. Not much help for him to receive, but the Cloud Drake is stacked up here on the side of Gen G. The 1 for 2, the 2 for 1, I should say, in favor of T1 after all that.
And through it all, T1, they're only down now 200 gold. Lillia is also massive with 3 kills in this game right now. We take a look at how this all transpires. So Ellim comes out of the brush, really surprises Ruler. He's not able to do anything, and Aphelios is a very important piece to their puzzle. Rascal, it almost looks like it's just flatulence there as the ulties, as Orianna Shockwave goes off. Like the sheer force given by Volibear.
The Shockwave.
Here, Ellim does lose the fight to Clid. BDD goes off with the Echo ultimate, but not able to really get to any safety, and so the game, I mean, it's still very, very even between the two.
Absolutely. It was the Drake to Genji, but it's just one singular Cloud Drake. Gives them a little leg up if they're trying to stack this this soul very fast, but certainly a lot of the members of T1 are getting nicely fed. They're having a good feast, a good dinner, now at around 7:30 here in Korea. And, I mean, they've got the Ezreal who's nearing his 2 items, and his 2 and 1. We've got Faker already with Seraphs on the way, 1, 0, and 3. Well, that's not what we're looking for. This one, we can't even blame on just clearing the wave. Just going for that one, trying to poke him out, and will miss.
And ends up missing there. A little bit unfortunate. Not the end of the world, though. 600, 700 gold lead still for Genji, but remember they have the Infernal Dragon. And so there's a little bit of amplification being given over there. 2.5 minutes until that Mountain Dragon comes up. That's a very important dragon. The thing I'm worried about at that Drake is, if you look at the timing relative to Gamayusi, I don't believe he'll have Miramana available, and that is a very big item spike timing. Now, they do know that Clid is down here.
Well. Yeah, we got 4 members of T1 hanging around, but they're just going to take down the turret and go ahead and back away. Faker actually missing some of the wave in the mid lane at the meanwhile as TP coming in. Genji looking to collapse, but not going to be the easiest play in the world. Over goes the set. They just want to get on top of Gamayusi, and they will do exactly that. The kill also, importantly, into the hands of BDD's Echo. Yeah. So nice little play there, using the teleport to pick up the kill.
They use that to get the kill. They offset the reset on Gamayusi, and he's actually going Trinity Force for this game. Faker lands an ultimate onto Rascal.
Spotted. Yeah, Rascal does have his teammates coming up here, though, so you can see T1 just trading a bit and then running away. Not going to overstay their welcome. And Faker, you know, say what you will about some of his ultimates. Is doing a really fantastic job of farming. 170. He's got the highest in the game. And is going to pick up a needlessly large rod already. So just stacking up as much AP as humanly possible.
This is going to be a very interesting situation here, as Genji should be in a very commanding position to get this Mountain Dragon in just a minute. Ruler should be able to have... Oh, wow. Gamayusi does have Miramana. Completed at 17 minutes, so he managed to pass the Ezreal minigame. But because he's going for that Trinity Force, he's not going to have the 2-item spike that would have been so oppressive, especially because of Iceborne Gauntlet. In a early game fight, the armor value as well as the extra mana converts to more AD when you have Miramana in your pocket as well. Seraph's Embrace already completed there on Faker. 30 seconds until this dragon, Eye Edge, has been finished. Mikhail's on Nidalee as the first item. It's actually not going to be the Athenes. Huh. And so, very, very supportive Nidalee build here.
Yeah, and I'm looking at the enemy team. I think it's really mostly for Lilting Lullaby. Obviously, Renekton can get in there too.
Oh!
And by the way, not having a fun time. Is looking to get solo down. The flash comes out. Rascal's still going to get in there and pick up the solo kill under the turret as everything's happening over here. BDD is trying to get in through the backside. Ruler gets a massive ultimate, and they have so much damage. They take down Gamayusi. as the flash forward, that was a little bit confusing. Ruler thinking they were closer than they actually were, but they're able to push them away, and this is going to give the Mountain Drake and put them on Mountain Soul point after that play.
And it does look like Genji, they're going to pick up the Mountain Drake. And look at the amount of MR on Clid that's about to get amplified. He's at 108 already. This is massive against Orianna, Alistar, Lillia, even Ezreal to a certain extent. Because Athene's is still going to be picked up. Let's take a look at this solo kill here. As Rascal, he is up so much over Canna. He turns off the turret. Even the minions were getting in on this a little bit. Ends up having to flash at the very end, but still gets him. Watch Life's engage here for some effort again, man. Doing it, starts the fight onto Life. It is, I don't know. I have nothing nice to say about it. And T1, they're forced to just eventually disengage. Like you were saying, Ruler thinking that he was a little bit closer than he was and that T1 was closer. And Genji, this game is so in their favor right now. 2,500 gold lead. Earth, Wind, and Fire currently as the Dragons. Mountain Soul is just 4 minutes away. And when they get that, Lillia, Renekton, they're basically being invalidated. There's no pen on Orianna. She's not going to get pen for a while. She's going for the Spellbinder as the second item. This is really problematic for T1.
Yeah, it's a massive problem, and it's not one that's going to solve itself anytime soon, as you were just mentioning. And I think probably Gamayusi is going to have to step it up here. It's asking a lot of a rookie player. And I was actually surprised that Teddy didn't come in for Game 3. We were talking about how we were expecting subs, or we thought it would be a good idea from the side of T1, but it's been the same comp, the same 5 players, all 3 games, no changes, and we'll see if it works out for them, because definitely under a lot of pressure here in Game 3 once again. Light gonna X-Flash over the wall, look for a potential play, and, well, not able to get too much. Looks like Gamayusi is, he's, you know, pretty concerned about that brush, so not gonna get caught out there.
2.5 minutes until that mountain comes up. It looks like Zhonya's Hourglass might be the next item actually by Clid, not the Athene. So not doubling down on the superior healing in utility. We're gonna get the Zhonya's. And that is gonna mean that 12% amp to armor and MR is gonna be quite nice, even for that little bit of armor that Zhonya's Hourglass does give, but the utility is gonna be very oppressive. When this turret falls, we are nearing a 4,000 gold lead approach by Genji. Lichbane almost completed on the Echo. Runon's already available for Ruler. Things are looking pretty grim. We got Black Cleaver coming in on Canna for the majority magic damage team comp. But there's not much to talk about right now. We're in a lull state. All the jungle camps are down. There's no objective up. So of course, obviously, we're just looking at what item spikes are coming in next. Where are people going with items? Seems like Faker actually not going to go with Spellbinder. So interestingly enough, he's going to pivot into Rabadon's Death Cap and try to maybe complete that before this Mountain Soul fight. And that'll give over a lot more of EHP anytime that he shields an ally.
Definitely the fun part about going the AP stacking build with the Seraph's Embrace into the Rabadons. As you're mentioning, the shields get pretty massive. But the one thing you're missing is Pen. Even has Merc Treads, so all of that stacking with the potential double Mountain Drake is just going to be so difficult for him to chew through. And we'll see what he can do. Even the QSS picked up now by Ruler, so he's got a bit of MR on top of it, as well as abilities to get away from a lot of different things. He's essentially got double cleanse because of the Nidalee's Mikhails on top of that. So very well prepared for this fight that is about to break out. We're just 40 seconds away from the game that, or the fight that could decide the game as well. We'll see what happens.
Well, we will see. if T1 can manage to pull it back. They have 30 seconds. I don't think Faker, even though he has the Amp Tome to sell, I don't think he's going to be able to get to it. And another thing I'm worried about is Lillia's not going to be able to get to Leandre's either. The resets are not there. No Black Cleaver for Renekton unless he's going to recall right now and TP into the fray. Maybe he'll have it available. But if this is the case, if this is T1's last hurrah with these stunted items, Gen.G are actually, they are way further ahead than the gold graph at the top would otherwise suggest because they have their items completed.
Absolutely. And it looks like Ruler just going to aggro the Mountain Drake. He's trying to pull it over and maybe get on top of that one. Take a look at the positioning. Actually spotted by the ward. BDD looking to flank. Rascal in a really awkward spot, though. In goes BDD. They're trying to get on top of Ellim as Rascal will go away. But there's the Mountain Soul going the way of Gen.G, which is massive in this game. T1, they get life, but that is it. And even 5v4 without life, I think Gen.G have a chance to take some fights here. So T1, they're looking for some value on the map. They're just going to try to get these turrets in the mid lane.
Well, I don't know what T1 are doing. They seem panicked. They're just randomly in mid right now. They're still on double needlessly large rod. Haunting Guy's blasting wand. They need to recall and get their items. They're trolling.
Oh, here we go. Ellim gonna take a big chunk of damage. Over the wall goes the Nidalee. That was a little bit aggressive. They're trying to get on top of Gamayusi, and they should be able to do it. BDD is getting into that backline and will take him down. Rascal and him going 2v2, or 2v3 rather. BDD is going to put up the stopwatch, but the chase is still on. Ruler incredibly strong right now, just gonna chunk through Ellim like he doesn't even exist. Down goes Faker, and there's just not much left standing here for T1.
I mean, Valdes, it is absolutely looking like it's over. 99.99% of the time, this game is going to go the way of Gen.G. They're going to get the Baron. They have what is going to be a 5,000 gold lead at the end of this. Mountain Soul picked up with two mountains, so not quite 3 like what happens sometimes. It doesn't matter. 12% amp, all that EHP given over. This one looked pretty good. Almost. Gamayusi looking like he was going to be able to steal a kill onto Rascal, but it just doesn't matter in the end. Mountain Soul goes over. T1 arbitrarily group up in mid lane like they are seemingly lost without a compass. I have no idea what they're thinking here. And Gen.G are probably thinking very similarly. What are they doing? Ellim literally stops and turns to hit Scuttle Crab as if they're ever going to stop and hit it. I have no idea what is going on.
Yeah, I mean, it was confusing, right? I was saying, you know, T1 are desperately trying to find value after just giving over the Mountain Soul and not really able to effectively confront Gen.G at that objective. And Gamayusi is, you know, he's got that Hex Drinker, thankfully, but BDD is quite the assassin at this moment in time. Well, okay, there's Dominus. Rascal's like, okay, I'll just walk away. Up 2 levels. Not a big problem for him, and Gen.G are on the doorstep of Worlds right now. This is a big sweep if they could pull it off here, and it's looking likely as they push to take this inhibitor.
Well, it does look like this might be the final pushes as Gen.G are looking to go to Worlds as the final seed from the LCK. We'll see what happens. Here we go. Next.
It's looking really likely. They're just taking down everything. The tutorial victory. And you got even Rascal pushing up on the top side. Could just group, I feel, in mid, but they want to take it slow. They want to be safe. There's so much on the line for this game, as we have continuously mentioned. BDD just going to come in here, zone them out as they take down the 3rd inhibitor. And again, they are quite literally on the doorstep of making it into the World Championship. If they do win this game, Ultimate is down from Ruler, but he doesn't seem to care. The chipping comes in and Gamayusi is in the front line for no reason, goes down. Not able to stand up to the power that is Genji. Really nice combo, Shockwave coming in, but it doesn't look like it's gonna matter. They get pulled in, and Genji will be making it to the World Championship of 2020 with the 3-0 sweep over T1. Absolute domination here in this final round of the regional qualifiers. Ruler gonna give Rask a little slap on the back and